Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to apologize for the delay. Karan was facing a slight technical difficulty while logging in. So now he is here, and let's begin. Well, there is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that is yourself. Anything and everything, any kind of changes, if you require, always begins with yourself. Welcome to the second episode of Voice Out, Speak Up to Reach Out. I am Rosy Bonita Fernandes, the founder of Being Beautiful and also your host for tonight. Well, you all know this by now that being beautiful is about self acceptance. And I initiated Voice Out as a platform where you express to inspire. The second color of the rainbow is orange. And like you know already, it is about positive thinking. The entire episode is going to be about positive thinking. So now it's my turn to introduce my speaker for the second episode of Voice Out. His name is Karan Shah. Well, we are all different in our own ways and we are all beautiful. I'm sure you're going to agree with me. Karan is a professional certified canine trainer and a behaviorist. Karan has also won a Bharat Prerna Award in this, and also for Angel being the only assistant dog in India. In 2019, he also opened a training center named Positive Future. He also achieved a real life Roadie in Jan 2020. So, Karan, welcome to Voice Out.
Yeah, hi Bonita. I hope you're doing good.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm so sorry for joining in late. I was just facing some technical issue. I do not know what it was.
That's fine. It's okay. So yeah, let me also tell you all a short story how I met Karan. So reels are very famous on Instagram now, and one night I was just going through my Instagram reels and I came across your profile. I found it so interesting. I visited you, and I was also looking for speakers for this season. So I also visited, your account, and I found it so positive. I mean, people will know why I'm saying that in a short while. And when I approached you, obviously we had a conversation, we had a small talk, and then you agreed to voice out. I believe I've also said this before. We all have a story. As humans, we all have a story to tell. And my only idea of voice out is to get as many stories as possible because the world needs to know this. So, Karan,
Correct.
why did you agree to come on voice out?
Because I personally feel that positivity is one thing in life that everyone needs to know. And sometimes spreading out your part of the story when it comes from hardship, from being something who was depressed, had anxiety to coming someone so far. If you share such stories, you know, in a group of thousand also, even if we inspire one, it feels like we have achieved our goal.
Yeah, that's true. I think, you never know sometimes who is the person who's getting inspired by you. It could be from anything. It could be your eating habits, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you think, the way you talk. So that is why I found it, because when I did a show once back and I got a lot of comments where people reached out to me telling me how inspirational my talk was, which is when Voice Out was actually born. And that is when I thought that just like my story, I think it's important for me to get everybody's, a lot of people who are willing to voice out. Well, you know about being beautiful as well, right? So, what is the most beautiful thing in your life, or what do you consider, or what is your definition of beautiful? Am I audible? I think he's stuck.
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your idea of beautiful? You've already heard my idea of what is beautiful, and my page, and being beautiful is all about self-acceptance. How would you define beautiful?
An honest opinion. Um, See, don't take me wrong, but I prefer animals over humans. So my definition of beautiful starts with being with nature, being close to nature. Okay, whether it be a dog, a cat, a snake, or anything. Okay, my definition of beautiful is being with nature because in my life I've learned one thing. What is called being beautiful was not taught by me by a human, but it was taught by me. It was taught to me by a dog.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's what I call as it as being beautiful. Like unless and until you have not loved a dog, you do not know what is beautiful.
Very, very
Mhm.
well said.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, I didn't feel bad about it. Many people know this that I'm not somebody who's really fond of pets. But yes, people who are around me, they love pets, and like in my own house, they're really fond of pets. See, I'm not fond of pets, but I will never harm them. I don't cause them any kind of harm, or I will not go to hit them or cause any kind of pain to them, because obviously they also are a living thing. They are made by God as well. They are created, but it is God's creation. And just because they cannot voice out, that does not mean we should be harming them. Yeah, I keep my distance from dog. It's just that because I'm scared, nothing else. It's not that I'm just scared about it, because when I was very young, there was a dog who bit me, so because of which I'm really really scared of dogs. And yes, cats. In fact, I have a few, like a cat and their babies in my house, so my family members are really fond of it. So yeah,
Okay.
I know that many people find a lot of comfort in their dogs rather than humans. Also because dogs are faithful, which is why
True.
I understand what you said. So Karan, also, it we as humans, it takes incredible strength for us to stay positive all the time when we are fully able as a person. And like I said, when I was going through your profile, I was in complete awe, and I was so uh, like I found so much of positivity when I even spoke to you for the first time, and when I got in touch with you for the first time. Your energy is infectious. How do you manage to stay positive all the time in spite, of being on the wheelchair at the moment?
Okay. So, earlier I always used to curse God that why you made me like this, why you made me disabled, why could not I have a normal life, why you took away my brother from me. There was a lot of victim game. I used to, play the victim card, like I am the victim in all of these things. Unless and until one day I realized that this is actually a blessing. You know, certain things happen to certain people to make them stronger, right? So, if you must have seen my Insta profile, then you must be knowing that, I'm a pretty social person and
Yes.
everything. In today's world, in today's time, in today's generation, when I look at those kids and when I look at my kids, when I look at myself, sorry, not my kids, when I look at myself, okay, and when I look at their parents and when I look at my parents, I see my parents being proud of me. Being disabled was not my weakness, it became my strength, which is something which I learned after a period of time. And of course, I'm doing what I love. So, I feel completely satisfied with my work, with whatever I get and whatever I have. It's just like what you have, except that, do not have expectations in your life. If you're happy with your current situation, you'll be the happiest soul on earth.
True. I think it takes a lot of courage for people to accept. Like, my first episode was about acceptance. When people accept that this is their situation, or this is it,
Yeah.
that's when things get easier. And I think it's easier to even move on in life. Otherwise, you're stuck in the past, and you keep thinking about things, and then you become an overthinker. And yes, that is what spoils your mindset as well. I think But my only thing is like, when I seen your profile, I was like, how do you manage to stay so positive? I have a friend who is, on the bed. He met with an accident couple of years back. He's in Bombay too. And I asked him to join this episode. Unfortunately, I cannot see him logged in. But I mean, it's not easy for him to accept as what has happened to him. And he is in a state of shock. He, talks about, he has suicidal thoughts. I do understand these things are, not easy. I mean, because I am on the other side, it's probably easier for me to talk. But when I shared your profile with him and I told him, you can still do things even if you cannot, if you're not fully able. I mean, I hope you didn't feel, bad that I used that word. I tried to use
Not at all.
subtle word that I could
Uh,
without offending you.
No, no, it's better if you use the word disabled more than, those different terms that we have formed over a period of years. I prefer people calling me disabled rather than differently abled or specially abled or something like that. Just tell me that's disabled.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Because I was wondering, I didn't want it to make you feel bad or like, because obviously it's a show as well. So I tried using the most subtle word. But yeah, thank you so much for confirming that. Well, you also said when while we were talking earlier that you lost your brother. I think when you were very young. So, uh,
Yeah.
what was that life-changing moment for you, and what exactly happened?
Okay. So my brother and I, we both had a very good bond. Especially when both of you are on a wheelchair, you tend to understand each other better. What happens is in a normal case, if I would just, talk to a person who's normal, they would not understand my point of view, but I would get those sympathies, empathies, jo bhi, like how people give.
Yeah.
With my brother, he was someone who actually understood the situation because he himself was wheelchair bound. So, we always have that one person whom we go to and we talk about. So that was my brother for me. When I lost him, you could honestly say that I actually tried to suicide twice, okay, but I failed. And I had actually lost interest in life. I was in complete depression. I was in a nutshell. I started having major anxiety and panic attacks at night. So I went through hell that time, from 2011 to 2016. Though Angel came into my life in 2014, but it at least took me another 2 years to accept even a dog in my life who could replace my brother. But I think after 2016, the moment I started talking with Angel, things started getting better, and the results are in front of you.
Yeah. So, how did you get introduced to Angel? Like, how did she come into your life?
How did I get introduced to Angel? Okay, so Angel was actually gifted to me by Shamak Dawar. So Shamak Dawar is a choreographer. So he's actually a very good family friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So when Shamak met me and my parents, he just said that Karan requires an angel in his life. And the very next day, he gifted me a lap pup, Angel. And my mom was like, no, Shamak, there are no dogs coming into our house and everything. Because my mom's actually someone who had phobias of dogs. So even if there was a dog on this footpath, she would change the footpath and walk. It was like that. But when angels came into my life, with that unconditional love that you get from a person, from a soul, it changes you completely. So when Angel entered into my life, it was initially it was more of me still being in a shell. Okay, but with Angel's constant approach and when those that cute puppy faces that they keep on making.
Yeah.
Okay, I think somewhere or the other that started melting my heart, and that's how I became close to her. And then there was a point where we had to search in for a trainer, and that time I came across Shirin Merchant, who's one of the top 7 trainers all over the world. So when I met her, that was the turning point in my life because she introduced me something to call as an assistance dog training. Now, in a country like India, no one knows what an assistance dog. So when Shilin Merchant told me that, this is what your dog could do for you. She could help you open the cupboard. She could help you open the drawer. She can help you remove your socks. She can help you remove your shoes and everything. So I was very overwhelmed with all of this. And I told her that, great, can you help me to train my dog? And that time she said, no, you want an assistance dog. You will train her. So while training Angel for 2 years, I realized that my depression has gone, my anxiety has gone. And the reason that I started taking her out for her walks and everything, I started becoming more social to people. And I noticed all of the changes in myself. And I got to know that, this is my calling in life.
Yeah, it's very important for us to recognize our calling in life, because I think most of us do not know what is our calling in life, and which is why we're always unhappy. We use the word depression even though when we are sad, because I have a lot of
Yeah,
family friends or friends or whatever will say that I was depressed. So then I correct them. I'm like, what makes you say that you are depressed? Say that you're sad. Don't use the word depression, because depression
true.
is it is a huge thing, and people who don't go through it, I mean, don't go through it, don't actually know the meaning of it. Because nowadays, if you see,
Correct.
especially in times like this during COVID, people use the word depression a lot, even though they are stressed
Boy,
or they are just probably going through anxiety. I mean, it's not just anxiety, but yes, it is obviously lesser than depression. Because I myself was I could say I still have anxiety attacks. I still go through a lot of depression episodes. In fact, I just had a relapse of my entire episode, and I just have learned how to deal with it. I think that is the beauty of seeking therapy and taking assistance or reaching out to people. I
true.
think it is important that we also speak up about what we are feeling rather than just sit quietly and not be open about it. That thing really changes how we feel, and it also changes our mindset.
True.
So, Karan, I also mentioned about you being a trainer, a canine trainer. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but
Yeah.
trainer and a behaviorist. So, what is dog therapy? I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Okay. So dog therapy is something that we do either with patients who are in depression, have anxiety, or who are mentally challenged. Okay, so what I do is that I train dogs for people who are mentally challenged. So I had dyslexia earlier. Okay, so I could not read or write properly in my childhood. So what used to happen is whenever, in your childhood, your teacher says that this is the first para, second para, everyone will read chance by chance. Okay. So I was a person who used to think, am I getting the big para or the small para to read?
Okay.
Okay, because I knew that the whole class is going to judge me. Okay, and in our society, in an Indian society, judging is one of the most common things done. Comparing is one of the most common things done. Okay, so during that time, what used to happen is when I used to start reading, for example, it's written as my name is Karan. It will go like my name is Karan. That is how I used to read, and then the whole class used to laugh on me. Okay, so now what we do is with dogs is that now we train them that whenever a child starts mumbling, you go and you lick the child and you hug the child from behind, encouraging it to read more. So we do these one-on-one sessions with a child who's dyslexic, and we make the dog sit and we let the child read the book to the dog. And there has been significant results. Like even if you Google out about therapy dogs and everything, there has been scientific knowledge, scientific research that dog therapy helps a lot in a child. If a child is mentally challenged, it helps them a lot to develop their abilities.
This is the first time I'm hearing, and I have, in fact, the people who have logged in also today, I think they're all dog lovers. I mean, I know two of them at least. So, yeah, I mean, that's something really amazing to hear. And I think this is going to help me as well, since I'm into coaching. And yeah, maybe I'm going to read about it, because when you told me this while we spoke earlier, I didn't even know that there is something like dog therapy. And thank you for introducing me to something like this, because I think a lot of people should know this, who are really fond of pets, and maybe who are not fond of pets might get fond of this if their child is going through something like this. Yeah, so Karan, how do you stay positive? Because see, this is really bullshit, honestly. If people say like stay positive all the time, it's not
It's
possible.
not possible.
As a human, it's not at all possible. We go through so much of negative emotions so many times throughout our life, and all we hear is like stay positive, stay positive. But then when negativity hits you, how do you manage to cope from that? What's your coping mechanism?
So see, there are times though we work with dogs as well. Everyone needs a break in their life. So what I usually do is I'm a person who loves nature. So what I do is not with dogs. I just go there somewhere in a place which is completely silent with trees, probably in a jungle. Um, like if you ask in Mumbai, to people that where have you seen Karan the most or anything, they will either say he's under, there's this one particular tree in Shivaji Park where I go and meditate. Else they will just say we do not know. He mostly goes for trekking. Okay, so for me to give a time out to give myself that positivity all the time, what I usually do is I'll go in a very silent place which has a lot of greenery, listen to the songs that I love. I'll be by myself. I'll dance. I'll get naked and I'll dance. Like no one's watching. Just be there. And at times, even because, with working with dogs and everything, you know, with Angel by my side, is sometimes if I feel depressed as well, if I get negative thoughts, I just talk it out to Angel. Talking out is one of the most important things to keep yourself healthy. If you just keep everything over here, it just plays with your mind. So two things I do is talk out everything with my dog. Okay, though I know she's not going to respond. Okay,
Yeah.
but I know that talking to her, her understanding my emotions, she's at least going to come, give me a hug, give me a kiss, and give me that feeling that everything is gonna be all right. I've never got this assurance from humans. I've always been getting it from dogs.
Well, I'm sure, I mean, I have not experienced that personally, but I know a lot of them who are so fond of their pets that probably if they want to cry, they would hold their pet in the night and, they would cry
Yeah.
it out, speak to them. And I don't know, I mean, having so many pet lovers around me, and I think I am also going to turn into one very soon. It looks like that, though my fear is still there of, touching a dog and all that. But yeah, it's quite interesting, because getting to know such things from you is interesting, and it is also helpful for people who do not know what to do in situations when they are negative, because sometimes sometimes you can be strong, but how long you want to be strong, how
True.
long can you be strong? Because I feel strong people also get tired, and sometimes people look up at you because you're strong, but deep down you know that you're on the edge of probably either giving up, or you can't do it any longer. But that's the beauty of it. That's how we learn to survive. I think it's easier to it's in a very recent movie, the movie Mimi, which I think most of us must have seen. Pankaj Tripathi says this, that dialogue is going to stay with me forever. So he says that it is easy for anybody to commit suicide and die, but it is not easy for somebody to live and survive. I think that thing actually hit me, and I was like, wow, it is such a powerful line. Because, yes, I'm not saying the people who commit suicide are weak people in their mind. Everybody has their own reasons. But I think the people who live and survive are more stronger. I mean, I look at it that way, not to offend
True.
anybody who has lost somebody through suicide. But yes, I think that is about it. Now, what advice would you like to give people who are dealing with somebody who are not who are disabled, or who know somebody who is in their family who is disabled, close friend? How do we approach, or how do we help them to change their, I mean, you can't change their mindset, but any kind of guidance or anything you have in your mind?
Okay. So this is one very common thing which I tell to everyone. If you see someone who's disabled, okay, remember one thing: we are not the people who want sympathy, empathy, okay, or fake encouragement in our life. what we look for is people appreciating our efforts. Even if it's the smallest thing, it is a very big effort. Okay, for y'all, it might be something very easy. For us, it might be something very difficult. Okay, so what often happens is at my house, like, for you, maybe putting your leg up on your other knee, it might be very simple thing. It must be your daily routine. But for me to do that, it takes my whole body strength. Okay. So when there are people with disabilities, just remember one thing: do not greet them with sympathy or empathy. Just greet them like how you would greet your friend.
Yeah.
In today's time, if you come to Mumbai, you ask anyone uh, what type of a person Karan is. Okay, the only feedback you will get. Is it okay if I say a bad word over here?
That's fine.
Like use the Indian slang.
That's
Okay.
fine.
So the first thing that they will say is, "Kya re Karan to chutia hai." Okay. Else they will say that Karan is one person full of sarcasm, love, life, laughter. Okay. And the people who will say that Karan to chutia hai are the people who will be my bestest friends because they know what type of a person I am.
Yeah, I have actually seen few of your reels as well, and you use that sense of humor in that, which is what also attracted me towards your profile, and I contacted you. Yeah. So also, could we see Angel if she's around?
Yeah. I'll just give her a call. Just give me a minute. I'll
No
just give
problem.
her. I'll just...
Also, if anybody has any questions for Karan, they can ask him once. I mean, towards the end of the show. So you all can switch on your cameras and your mic and say, even if you want to say anything to him.
Okay. Angel's just gonna be here in a minute. I think they have taken her for her peeing and pooping. It's her time. She should be here in a minute.
Okay, so I mean, right now she is the only dog, I mean, assistant dog in India, right? But
Yeah.
you're also training, I mean, you're training other dogs as well.
Yeah. I'm currently training about 147 dogs right now.
Huge number. I'm sure. I mean, in Bombay, yes, people do have a lot of pets, and
Yeah.
many of them require that as well. So you're doing a fantastic job, Karan.
Thank you.
Yeah, so while we're waiting for Angel, anybody wants to say anything to Karan or wants to ask him anything, they want to say anything to me, can switch on the camera and the mic as well. Okay, I think we have pretty much answered all their questions then. So how do you like what do you do otherwise, when Angel is not there, how do you pass your day, or what do you do apart from training her?
I can actually show it to you. So apart from my day, um, so if you can see these books over here,
Hmm.
I love reading. So, I'll keep on reading books during my free time all the time. And the best part is that all of these books are nothing but they all are about dogs, animals, encyclopedia, nature, plants.
Nice. I like reading too. I keep buying a lot of books. I read and then
Oh,
sometimes
nice.
take a break. I love reading. I think
Ah,
reading is also it really helps you to declutter your mind, your thoughts. If you are good, if you
true.
and I have a lot of self-help books. So I'm also writing a book, by the way. I mean, I
Oh,
when I'm
fantastic.
going to, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to finish it though, but I've started and I don't know, I must have deleted it so many times, but yes, I need a very good mindset and I need my mind to be calm when I'm writing that.
Okay. Even in fact, even I'm writing a book on dogs. It's mainly on business lines, like on dog training, dog psychology, based on my research over the past 8 years. So I've been doing that. I actually started on with blogs, but after blogs, now I think that, after so much of accumulated theory based what I have, which proves my theory, and I have all the proofs to prove my theory. So I thought, why not write a book? Okay, I think Angel's here.
Okay.
One sec. Angel, Subhash. So there, you all can see her. Yo.
She's a huge dog in the picture.
Angel.
Hi, Angel.
There she has eaten the mala.
Oh, she's eating cake. I think she's eating some cake.
He's a big foodie. There she starts. Angel being a typical angel. It's okay. That's a dog cake only. So it's completely fine.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So you do not have
There are people looking at you. She's bothered when she sees food. I
like right there. If I'm not sure if you all can see, but my friends are right outside, and they're just staring at what's happening.
Ansela says hi, Karan. Ansela, do you have anything to say to Karan?
Hi, Angela. Angel.
Ansela asked you, have you heard of Absolute Dogs with Tom and Lauren?
Absolute Dogs with Tom and Lauren. Um, no, not yet. I'll find out about it for sure. I'll read about
It is a game based on, I mean, it's a game based training. That's what she says.
it. Okay. No, I've actually not heard about it.
Okay. So, Karan, thank you so much for, joining us today and sharing your experience and voicing out. Before
Thank you.
we end for tonight, is there anything on your mind and in your heart that you want to say to us?
One thing I would like to tell to everyone is live and let live. Fuck other people's opinion. Okay. If your gut says it is right, then just go for it. Because for me, getting into this field, uh, there were many people who pointed out that are you actually just going to be a dog trainer? Okay. And in today's time, I earn independently way more than my family. So just do what your heart says, follow your passion, and do not fall for fake sympathies.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. Please stay safe. Do not forget to wear your mask, protect yourself and your family, and we're all going to get through this COVID very soon. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend and good night.
Good. Thank you for this, Bonnet.
Thank you, Karan. Bye bye.